Hi guys, Mike Lickeneck, Moving is Life. It is Tuesday morning, and Tuesday morning is Double Tap Tuesday. Today's Double Tap is military versus civilians. Okay, so a few years ago in 2016, the Department of Defense hired me to teach an active shooter tactical responder course for one of the buildings that are in Georgia that houses high-level officers, including 1-star and 2 stars generals. A few generals sit in that same building, and that building is kind of a headquarters to a lot of high-level security type of activities, and there's a lot of generals in there. The Department of Defense, which is basically the army, was so concerned about all those guys coming back from overseas and the active shooters starting to happen like it happened in a base, I believe it was in Texas. So they were concerned. So I went over there and I did a course that was specific to the building. I came a day earlier, I did an entire security evaluation on the building, and then 18 guys were trained for a couple of days to do the course. Those 18 guys there were Green Berets in the group, there were Rangers in the group, there were people, everybody that took the course had deployments overseas and were seasoned operators and warriors. You got guys that you're talking really high level operators. Okay, so a few months ago, one of my black belts runs a church down here in South Florida. I'm not going to say his name because I don't want the church to be targeted. They know the security over there. It's nobody's business which church it is, but if you're in my organization, you know exactly who that black belt is, one of my students. And he approached me and said, "Sir, there's starting to be a place of worship target for those active shooters. You had the guy in Texas at the church, you had the synagogue in Philadelphia, you had the mosque in New Zealand, you had another synagogue in California. So it's becoming a pattern. I would like the training you did for the military to build a Raven team in my church." So I said, well, there's issues with that because, you know, you gotta, like, if people are not trained, we gotta start from ground zero, this and that. And he said, well, I got a couple guys that are law enforcement that are members of the church. Let's build it up. So a few weeks ago, I went to the church. I did a security assessment. I went to check out the building, this and that. And this weekend, the course happened. I cannot tell you how happy I am that I did that course. So number one, to my black belt that organized the course, kudos to you. You're a good man. You're making sure that your place of God is secured. The course was epic. I was extremely happy. 6 people took the course. That means there's 2 full 3-man Raven teams. I'll explain in a second. The way we do a Raven team, it's an undercover team. In other words, you will not know who's the security in the church. Okay, if you got guys walking around with shirts that say security and body armor and rifles and this and that, they become the target to that active shooter to be eliminated first so they can kill for free thereafter. Not only that, you start putting people with rifles and people who look like security, people who look like wannabe freaking Rambo or SWAT team look-alike in place of worship. People will start not going to worship because you're actually inflicting fear in the people. So we believe the best security is the undercover security, the security you don't see. So 6 people trained. Out of those 6 people, one of them is my black belt, obviously he's experienced. Then other 2 were, one guy was ICE. ICE is Immigration Crime Enforcement Unit, 17 years, have done every law enforcement course there is out there. And the other guy was 15 years NYPD, moved to Florida, now works for the Border Patrol and Customs. Same thing has been done, training. Both of them at the end of the day said, I can't believe this training. I've done every school of law enforcement that's done here, and this by far is more effective and more simple and faster. So let's talk about what they did throughout the day. Okay, in the beginning of the day, I was a little bit worried because out of those 6 people, everybody had different guns. Everybody had different equipment. Everybody was a completely different species. Some people were in shape, some people were not in shape, and some people young, some people older. And I was like, okay, I don't know about this, right? By the time we hit hour number 2, my black belt came up to me and said, "Sir, I can't believe how good they're doing." And by the time we were done with the course, these guys were operating as full Raven teams. Okay, what is a Raven team? A Raven team is 3 undercover security people in a building, 3 of them. Okay, as soon as there's an active shooter, they react. Doesn't matter where the active shooter is in the building, They react as a team with very specific procedures. Like yesterday at the church where I did the course, there's one big room for the service, there's another room that's fairly big for the children to do Bible study, and there's a second floor that has an overview. So every Raven team that I train is customized to the facility, place of worship where people are coming in. I will train up to 12 people. That means you have 4 teams of 3 people. That means, for an example, I trained 6 of the guys yesterday, and I told them, you want this church to be safe, to be able to react to an active shooter in any place in the church at any time, wherever the active shooter decides to act. You need 3 people that day for service, 3 people. So if you have 12 people, you have more people to have a pool that there's always 3 people at the place of worship. It's very ironic, obviously, that the first Raven team in South Florida is actually a church and not a synagogue. I've been talking to a few people that have connections with synagogue, and all it's been talk. They come back, they say the rabbi is concerned, weapons, they're concerned about this, they're concerned about that. A lot of times they're concerned about budget because they don't want to pay for the training. And kudos to my black belt that organized that training. You're a good man. Now you have a place of worship where a God's house where it's saved by people that are basically warriors. I cannot say how happy I was with the training. I was concerned with it first. My satisfaction of training special forces and military contract is completely different than what I trained yesterday. And I came home so happy. I told Christy, I said, like, I can't believe how happy I am. It's actually a different type of satisfaction. Okay, Haganah is a program. Haganah in Hebrew means defense. We are professionals that teach professional procedures, how to do self-defense, how to do tactical security. We are at the top of the food chain, and now there's a church in Florida that has an undercover Raven team, tactical active shooter responders. I cannot tell you how happy I am. Movement is life. Mike Lee Kenerick, go get it.